If you are looking for where to read newspapers in Aso Rock, visit the Vice President's office, noted a social media user. The pendulum is already swinging and the scale of the cabal is dangling towards a certain direction. The battle for the soul of 2023 is gradually being drawn. The coast is becoming clearer. The battle is also about who gets the top job in 2023. Needless to say, it's going to be a fight to finish. It's going to be a war between the pigs and the cabal. Should I increase the volume for the Honorable Minister for Power to heal me? Who will get dirtier and happier this time around, the pigs or the cabal? It is indeed a battle between the monstrous, ferocious and powerful northern cabal and the Jagabans boys. Sorry, I meant to say the Yoruba of the southwest. Intriguing days are ahead. Time and events will keep on unfolding how this power tussle will twist, hit and break necks. Now look at this way. They started the ruthless experimentation with the Sahara Reporters publisher, Mr. Showore. When the northern oligarchs decided to hound him, they definitely had something in mind. They wanted to know how the Southwest would react, as if the well-orchestrated plans were laying like landmines. The Yoruba political gladiators are already playing into the traps. They all kept mute as Showore's gut-wrenching invasion and arrest. Some of them even encouraged the president and his powerful cabal to keep Showore as long as he wishes, inasmuch as 2023 would not be compromised with other ethnic groups. You will recall that pressures were all around the Ashiwaju of Yoruba land and self-styled Awolowo of our time, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, to run for 2023 presidency. Anyway, that is what he told us. Showore has always been seen as a threat to the political interests of Jagaban. No, he has a big threat. He was a big threat to the collective interests of the Southwest. As such, he has to be eliminated from the picture. Having seen that the chess was really playing out as planned, it is now time to touch one of the untouchables. The most powerful political office holder from the Southwest was stripped of his powers and rendered almost redundant. This was a clear message to the Jagaban that it was no longer business as usual. Nobody dares the cabal and tells the story with joy. First, Mr. President, I meant the unseen hands in the presidency disbanded the Osinbajo-led economic management team, even without giving him prior notice. It took the VP by surprise. I suppose he would still be nursing the wound and trying to recover from the rude shock by now. But the cabal would not stop. They needed to leave the Jagaban with a bloody nose by hitting very hard at his men. He has to be cut to size by all means for nursing his inordinate ambition. Without mincing words, he has to be taught some lessons and be told to his bare face that he is still a political neophyte in the murky waters of Nigeria politics. Nigeria is neither Lagos State nor Southwest, where the Jagaban could loom large without restraint. Nigeria, as things are now, belongs to the cabal and by extension the powerful northern oligarchs. Come to think of it, to be frank, many had seen the Osinbajo-led EMT as an epoch-making disaster. As some economists and financial analysts would argue, the vice president headed the most inept, rudderless, and historically failed economic team in the history of Nigeria, a sort of Buhari Simbajoic political economy. Certainly, the economic team would be remembered for its notoriety for plunging the economy into a state of comatose. Sadly, under its economic watch, millions of Nigerians fell into the Atlantic Ocean of abject poverty. Nigeria quickly leapt to become the poverty capital of the world. Although many still argue that the baton of responsibility rests between him and the cabal, as the president signs anything that comes to his desk through the cabal without making any attempts to go through those documents. After all, he once admitted he doesn't read through documents before signing and presenting them to the public. Second, right from the inception of the Buhari administration, the vice president has been chairing the governing board of the National Emergency Management Agency, Border Communities Development Agency, the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, and National Boundary Commission. He likewise chairs the board of directors of Niger Delta Power Holding Company, a limited liability company jointly owned by the three tiers of government, as well as chairman of the National Council on Privatization. These are the powerful portfolios being superintended by him. This gave him some sense of superiority over the demigod Kaba. But how far Oshibajo would go with those titles is a matter to be determined by not by the constitution or any other extant law, but by the godless Kaba, all feeding fat both at Aso Rock and outside the princess of power. They could even call the cannon shot from Daura Palace and Kaduna Government House or anywhere in the north. Aligning with their interests could have saved the vice president all this embarrassment. Perhaps it has even come as a speculation that he is also nursing the ambition of giving the top job a shot should his boss fail to clinch the ticket. Now, all those powers that had given him a false sense of confidence and smartness have been stripped off with just a tip of finger by the Kaaba. Is the game not over? What this means is that the vice president would just be there, isolated and abandoned. What gave him relevance has been taken away. Third, before he could take any decision or action now, approval must be sought and obtained from the almighty Kaaba. It will get to their tables first. They will have to query it, ask both reasonable and unreasonable questions. Approval will be timelessly delayed. Frustration will creep in. The office will become moribund and redundant. It would be starved of funds. Apologies to the Kogi State Governor and his estranged deputy. Fourth, that notorious trader money and what have you would also have to go. No more traveling allowances. The vice president would just come to office, press and charge his phones, tweet, Facebook, WhatsApp, and perhaps listen to news and retire back home. This may soon be his routine for the next 4 years. The powerful Kaba is at work. A time is coming when Nigerians will be asking themselves whether the office of the vice president still exists. That is what the Kaba can do. Challenge them and your story would be told with deterrence as a warning to others. Fifth, major national dailies are recently reporting how the vice president is were packing out of the Aso Rock in droves. The terrain was becoming unbecoming for them. The manifestation of the power of the Kaaba, unbearable Aso Rock. Now, what becomes of Tinubu and his ambition if the Kaaba decides to go after all his men on key positions, on political positions at the federal level? They are digging the trenches against 2003 for Jagaban and his men. Will he survive the onslaught? Time will tell. For now, the coup from the Kaaba is already giving them ambitious gladiators sleepless night. Is impeachment possible? Pretty much, but that would be too lousy and unnecessarily pronounced with the subtle but dangerous steps being taken by the Kaaba. I see darkness hovering around Jagaban's ambition. The sinister is already gathering to perch on the Zuma rock. Will the Southwest speak up now, or would they also sacrifice Oshibajo with the hope of 2023? Is still much feasible for them. The question I am compelled to ask is, how will the Southwest appease the Aso Rock Harbor without sacrificing their 2023 inordinate ambition? So guys, I think this article has been even written before this new occurrence with what is happening now. What is happening now compared to what was happening even when this article was written, because I've come across this article sometime ago. The situation now is even worse than that, because we don't even know what is happening, and it's becoming clearer day by day. The northerners have said, oh, they are still going to hold power beyond 2023 because they believe Buhari has failed. We are beginning to hear from the northerners that, oh, from the northern elders, oh, Buhari has failed them in the area of security, in the area of economy. He has failed. And what does that say? One, and some of them, like people like Arewa, that Buhari has not done what they not really expected him to do. So it will be a disservice if Buhari just lives like that, and the northerners are not going to be gaining anything because they have not really achieved anything. And they are the ones who have been holding power from time immemorial. What have they done at some point in time? It is the same poverty, the same insecurity that has been ravaging the whole country because of the way they have been doing things. So as far as Osinbajo is concerned, he's going nowhere. He's a goner already, and I don't think he has that mind for that. They had their plan before they brought him in the first place. He has never been a politician, so they just brought him for a purpose. From what I've just tried to discover recently, they just brought him and he has fulfilled his own whatever. People can just be saying a lot of things, but who is now left is the Jagaban. Whether he's going to get this or that, that is a different ballgame entirely. I think he's really struggling for that. Of course, he has not come out officially to say, oh, he wants to be the president or whatever. Okay, Nigeria politics makes no sense. It is all about acquiring power without using it to make any impact on the citizens. Exactly. That's despite they not occupying all the important posts in all the ministries and other institutions. Just tell me how it has benefited them. No way. At the moment, the Arewa are crying the loudest that Buhari government is a failure. Exactly. They are still crying. Okay, someone say, yeah, you are right. What I knew and believe is that Tinubu can never be president of this country since he wants to trade on the turn of southwest, southeast. What happened to Awolowo and Abiola will be a child's play to many. To what will happen to him? Southeast and South will never vote him. Even 65% of Southwest will not vote him too. And this is a payback time for his betrayer. He's just playing to the gallery. So guys, let us hear your opinion concerning this whole thing. Leave your comment below and let's have your take on this.